We hope that you're having a good day. We're having this great time. Really quick update for those who want it on the Lord Don, and that is he is no surgery. He's out of that. They're still doing a number of tests, and we will follow up more later. So please don't bother our stream today with all those questions. Please go to Don Lewis's own personal page where he gave us a very personal message. But today, Mary Hawk is taking over into that position of head psychic of the day, and they're going to talk about tarot truth. And she has Brian. You recognize Brian? He's been on Pagan World doing so many great specials, including the Trans Day of Remembrance, and as well as a strong psychic at work with us. So we're really grateful to have him on today. And so, if you folks, if you're seeing this out there, go ahead and tell us about it. You can talk about anything you want about tarot. All right.
Well, thank you, Ed. Good evening, everyone. This is Reverend Mary Hawk with my special guest, Sir Brian Ellicott. And we are going to talk about tarot. We can do some mini readings. We can answer questions about tarot. So go ahead and send us a message. And Brian was just sharing one very special fact before we came on. So go ahead with that, Brian.
Yeah, so today is the 146th birthday of Pamela Coleman Smith, one of the original creators of the well-known RWS Tarot. So today is her birthday.
And happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Pixie. I'll be using that deck today in her birthday honor.
That's wonderful. And I have the Tarot of Hecate, or the Infinite Tarot by Lord Don. Hi, Pam. Yes, that is so cool, isn't it? She's saying it's so cool about Pamela Cole's birthday.
Just a bit of random knowledge I picked up while scrolling today.
Pamela Cole White, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Arlene.
Hey, Arlene. How are you? Good to see everyone popping in.
While everybody warms up, how long have you been reading tarot, Mary?
I have been reading tarot since 1999. So that puts me at how many years? 24.
24.
How about you?
I picked up my first deck, I want to say, in 2004. So that would be 19 years? Yeah.
All right. Good evening, Is it pronounced Cursor? Alrighty. So we're gonna pull a card for Ed. Blessed be Margarita. So one card for Ed. First? You can go first.
How about you go first?
Well, I have pulled the Queen of Swords from the Infinite Tarot, and now this is a card that frequently represents me in a deck. But this is representing, you put that down and look at it. So swords are around air, thought, intelligence, communication. And so I'm going to say this is representing a woman with a message for you, Ed. And what have you got, Brian?
I also have a swords card. I have the Page of Swords. Again, life is a journey, and to not take any swift, big slashes at projects. Think them through. Don't just attack a project. Think it through first.
All right. And
Well,
we've
thank-
now got. Go ahead.
Well, I said, well, thank you there. And as much as that's good advice, Brian, I don't know that I could possibly follow that.
It's worth a
Probably
good
not.
effort. It's okay.
It's okay. No, it is true. Both of those are very good. I mean, I am definitely having to make microbytes of my projects right now. All right. Thank you.
All right. And hello to Margarita, Tawny, and Cassie. Thank you for
everyone.
joining us. Does
Please
anyone
feel
in
free
chat?
to put in the comments if you want a card, if you have a general question. Make it fun for us this evening.
And I do want to draw attention to our Pagan World Witch Starter. I have had a great start off, and we still need your help, so please support us at witchstarter.com. Okay, so Arlene has a question about a situation at work and just wants to know how it's going to end up. Do you want to go first, Brian?
Flexing my wrists.
Yeah.
They don't give you workouts for this at the gym.
I know. There we go. That's something we need to work on. The tarot readers workout. Flex those wrists.
Reverend Brian, if you're listening, help us out.
Yeah, Reverend Brian. I'm gonna IM him about that.
I pulled the Hermit. So the way I would interpret the Hermit for this situation would be, if the situation is not directly impacting you, to embrace the shadows and step away from it. Do not involve yourself unless you absolutely have to. Take a back seat. Knight of Pentacles, it's a job. You're there to earn your coins, so I would for once just avoid, which is not something I'm big for.
All right. Well, I get the King of Pentacles. So again, this is the job. I have the past. So there is something in the past affecting this situation, whether or not that's been revealed. And finally, I've got the Queen of Lamps. Lamps is a suit of spirituality in this deck. We have the Queen ruling over it, and she is sitting quietly in meditation with the sun and the moon. So I'm going to agree with Brian that you are, if you can't disengage to keep your own counsel as much as you can, I think that there are some forces at work that have to come up to the surface here, is what I'm seeing. So I would be cautious until more things are revealed.
Hope that helps, Arlene.
Yes, hope it helps.
So, Tawny, you said sure, yes, please. Do you have a question, or would you just like a bit of what I like to call card spontaneity?
Well, in her next message, she doesn't have anything in specific in mind, but she's working on a lot of things. So let's go with card spontaneity.
My favorite. spider push-ups. Thank you very much. All right. Would you like to go first, Mary?
Certainly. So my first card is the Soul. Major Arcana. And this is representing your inner you. What you truly want in this situation. My next card is the Empress, another major arcana. And the Empress represents feminine power, feminine authority, and is also can be a very sensual card. And finally, we have the Ten of Wands, which also has a woman on it. So I'm seeing a lot of strong female energy here, with the 10 being the completion of the suit of wands. And wands frequently are relating to our skills, perhaps our vocation, in the sense of the type of work we do rather than looking at the financial end. So I am going to say that it looks to me that you are coming into your own at this point. You are learning to find your own voice and express yourself.
Awesome. So I pulled for my first card Temperance, which is balancing. So while you're coming into yourself, that balance between wanting to do everything and nothing all at the same time, followed up by the Ace of Cups. So not it could be love, it could be new friendships, it could be both. Just finding that time to find yourself, maybe make new friends, do new activities that you never done before. And then I got the Three of Cups, which is definitely what I call squad goals, hanging out with, again, meeting new friends, doing new things, celebrating, doesn't always have to be around beverages, but yeah.
Okay.
New times.
All right. Glad to hear that, Tawny. And Pam is asking us.
Absolutely, Tawny. Glad to.
How to best support her ex who is in the hospital and very ill, or how to support his partner, rather.
Okay. Elvis says hello to everybody. That's my cat.
Hello there.
All right.
And I've got the Four of Cups. Cups are around emotions. As a numerologist, I will tell you 4 is around work, discipline, organization. So I'm going to say keep your emotions in order in this situation. We have the Nine of Wands here, which shows a woman in prison. And I'm thinking that the partner is going to feel very constrained in this situation. And then finally, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which does indicate a good outcome in the material world. I would say that what I'm getting here is just offer your emotional support to the partner and continue with the healing energy, because I think overall the outcome will be favorable.
All right. I got the 8 of Pentacles. This is telling me, Pam, that you know how to best support them. You might just be overthinking it because of the difficult situation, but your natural skills and abilities are what is going to be most helpful to them right now. So don't overthink what you can do to help them. Do what comes naturally. And the 3 of Wands again, which affirms that you know how to best support them, not just because you're good at what you bring to the table, but because you were a part of this person's life already, and you just need to give his partner, their partner, the reassurance that you're there to help, and that's taking action, is being able to be there to help.
And you are welcome.
This is fun.
Yes, this is fun.
Got cards.
Okay. Anybody else have a question? Arlene is telling Elvis hi. How did you come to name the cat Elvis?
Oh, the shelter actually named her Elvis. So
Her.
Yes, her. So we kept her name, and I gave her a middle name, so her name is Elvis Penelope. She's a black and white cat, not a tuxedo, more of a sort of cow. She's a bit confused because I'm up so late, so we'll see how long before she starts asking for breakfast. Yes, happy Black History Month. I actually have a deck for that. I guess it's a great time to highlight that. This is my friend Illuminati's Black Femme Tarot deck. So it's all plus size women of color of both masculine and feminine presentation across the deck. So while we don't have any questions,
no, let's see the deck.
Exactly. Maybe we'll do a little. First off, look at the edges on this deck, Mary and everybody.
Ooh, sparkly.
Right? Sparkly. All right. Oh.
Ah, and what is that? It's coming up. Oh, 8 of Pentacles.
Sorry, getting used to the 3 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, this is a really fun deck, and I've been using it for my personal readings for Black History Month. She's also queer, which is fun. So this is a Kickstarter that I backed, and I got deck number 398 out of 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That is an awesome deck.
Yep.
Well, would you draw a card or two for me?
Sure, Mary. I'd be happy to. All right. Five of Swords. And then 7 of Wands. So I would say you are, taking up a lot of new challenges, a lot of new actions, a lot of uncharted territory. Not just this week, but in general, which one more card. Ace of Pentacles. So, you're manifesting all the right things and doing all the right things. So, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change.
All right.
Would you like to do one for me?
I will. Yes, indeed. So we start off with the Hermit, which means you are in a period of introspection. You are thinking things over. And I get the feeling here it's more of a spiritual nature than physical. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles. So you are manifesting things well on the material plane. And we finish with the King of Lamps. Lamps is a suit specifically regarding spiritual matters in this deck. So you are coming into your own power spiritually, is how I'm reading this.
Yay. Hence, ta-da, I'm here.
Yeah. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Elvis got a case of the zoomies.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, he's not zooming behind you, so I can't see him.
Oh, no.
And Hella is thankfully taking a nap right now.
Oh, perfect timing.
She's being a very good dog and being quiet.
Maybe she just got your taping routine down.
It would be nice, but I did feed her some CBD oil.
Oh, well. There you go.
You know.
If you have any more questions or you just want to know about the tarot or some other decks I can pull out, that could be fun.
So how did you get your first deck, Brian?
My first deck was gifted to me by a family friend so I could learn. It was literally a Rider-Waite starter deck. It actually had keywords on it, and I still have it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it asks, so how many decks do you own? More than I want to admit on YouTube, so my partner can't use it against me later.
And hello, Lily. Thank you for joining us. How many decks do I own? Well, let me take a brief. This one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that. I'm going to say 10, but don't hold me to it. I don't have all of them in front of me. No, 11. I just remembered another.
Actually,
And that's
a
just tarot decks. I'm not counting the oracle decks. I'm going to have to add 4 more to that. And I do have a Lenormand deck. Although I
have a Lenormand as well.
Have you ever worked with Lenormand?
I have. I actually have one myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
37 tarot decks. And you fit all these in a small apartment. I'm impressed.
I have a craft wheelie cart. Like a crafting cart that I can fit them in.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as they fit in the cart, I am allowed to have them. Now, how many decks can I fit in a shoebox on the couch within arm's reach? That would be about 6.
Okay. And from Twitch, JJE is asking, I want to be an influencer. Is there a charm to gain followers, a glamour spell? Well, Brian's not jumping right in on this one. I'm going to say you can use magic to help support your own efforts, but you're going to have to do your own work as well. So that is my
Yeah,
answer.
I would do some research on that for sure.
I would. And Julia wants to know, do we let other people handle your decks when reading? Yes.
I do.
I let the querent shuffle the deck. I usually tell them to shuffle the deck, think about your question, and keep shuffling till you know you are through shuffling and hand it back.
Yeah, I let people touch my decks and then I can tap it out after. Depending on the situation. I let people touch my decks all the time. Usually as long as somebody asks permission, my cards are pretty good with verbal consent. I've only had one deck that doesn't like people. So Lily says, "Oh my God, tarot! Can we talk about it? I've been a reader for almost 20 years, but I've only ever used my grandmother's passed down deck. I'm literally about to get decks 2 through 5 to use in the metaphysical shop I work in. I'm so overwhelmed with going from home bloodline to exploring." I would say that everybody's experience with tarot is different. I don't have a bloodline to tarot directly, but some of the decks that I've been gifted from family friends, those are decks I only use for me. I wouldn't even bring those to a reading. They have a special place on my altar, and those are decks that no one touches. So do not get overwhelmed. There are way too many decks out there, but there are amazing artists. And do your research. YouTube is your friend when it comes to looking at new decks because you don't have to buy them all. Somebody else already has. You can just watch.
Okay. And Julia is saying that she's finding using her intuition difficult. Julia, is that using your intuition when you read tarot, or is that using it in general?
Intuition is like you're like a muscle of it in and of itself, in my opinion, that you have to flex and work out. It's not something that automatically turns on.
Yeah, using your intuition in a tarot reading, like Brian said, it is a matter of practice. I have always tended to read intuitively. I started out with my deck and the book, and I'm reading the meanings from the book. And then it just sort of started to gel, and then I'm just looking at the pictures of the cards and seeing how they all fit together. And I tend to read tarot both from the perspective of the numerology of the card and just from what my intuition tells me. And so I would say if you want to develop that, I would start pulling 3 cards in the morning and asking how your day would go. Make a note of how you feel it, what you feel is coming, and then read it over again at the end of the day. And that will help you begin to strengthen your intuition. And as Wade says, yes, you just need to learn to trust yourself. We all have intuition. And a lot of it is simply learning to listen to it.
If 3 cards starting in the morning is too many, start with 1 and build and go and build and work up to that.
Yes, Laurie Cabot does have a great book for training psychic ability called Power of the Witch.
I have Lady Stephanie's book, which is great for that as well.
Yeah, I have got Lady Stephanie's book. I have not had a chance to read it yet.
It's great. There's another book by Morgan Greer, Reading for Yourself, that gives you like some great exercises on working that intuition, like that muscle memory of your intuition as well.
That is Lady Stephanie Neal. She is the first priestess and chancellor of the Corellian tradition, and a wonderful person, I might add. And she has written several great books.
Definitely. My favorite card.
Which is,
Justice.
you got a bit of a glare.
Oh, it's
Justice is good.
Yep. Is it better that way? There you go.
That is.
That is my favorite card. And I'm sure you know this, but in some decks, especially in Toth and then Toth clone, like Toth hybrid decks, the strength card and the justice card sometimes change positions.
Right.
So depending on what deck it is, my birth cards are either strength or justice.
Right. My favorite card is the Queen of Swords. Like I said earlier, it always represents me. And when Lord Don offered a create your own card option with the Infinite Tarot, I did, in fact, have him draw me in a green hat as the Queen of Swords.
That's beautiful.
It absolutely is.
There's one of the first decks I bought myself, not the first deck I owned or was gifted, but one of the first decks that I bought myself is the Urban Tarot by Robin Scott. And my favorite card out of that deck is the Ace of Cups because it's the fountain in Central Park here in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So if I come back again, maybe I'll bring that one over.
Well, that would be wonderful. Do you work with Oracle decks at all?
I do. Currently here in this pouch that I had made, I have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Have you heard of that one?
I have not.
All right. So
we need. Go ahead.
It is a astrology oracle deck. So all of the houses and planets and then signs of the zodiac have their own card. So this is Mars in the 8th house in Scorpio, and the word underneath is revenge.
And maybe we need to explain the difference between tarot decks and oracle decks.
Yeah, of course. Happy to.
So a tarot deck follows a set format. You have suit cards and the suits normally correspond to the regular playing cards with the hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds. As I mentioned, the Infinite Tarot has a 5th suit, the suit of lamps, but that is unusual. And then there are normally 22 major arcana cards, starting with the Fool at 0 and ending with the World at 21.
Mhm.
And again, the Tarot, the Infinite Tarot or Tarot of Hecate, actually has many more. It is a 100-card deck. Now, an oracle deck does not follow any particular format. It is whatever the designers feel called to do. Tarot cards generally have agreed upon meanings for the different cards, no matter what deck they're in, but oracle cards, again, are very individualized.
I have
And while
one here.
Moon Magic,
This is our rock pool deck. So basically, there is a pretty image. Obviously, with this one, there's of the moon. These are a little too shiny with this lighting, so I'll try to.
that works a little better. And yes, Joseph, you are correct. The major arcana relate a lot of times, even he's saying the big picture, it can also be very spiritual part of the reading. And the minor arcana are more personal and generally have less significance.
So this moon magic oracle. So there's a picture on one side, and then there's just like a affirmation on the other side. So this one says, "I will not remain stuck. I choose to change." And then it also says the waxing crescent in the third on it. So I like to. There's a meme that goes around on Facebook occasionally that I sort of like, that where tarot is the kick you in the butt and tell you how it is kind of thing, where oracle is like the warm fuzzy hug.
And I have never really, and maybe I just haven't found the right oracle deck yet. I do own 4, all bought for their artwork. They're absolutely beautiful, and I have never been able to read with them.
Okay, so I will show you with the oracle of the radiant sun. Sometimes I do have to so this one is the moon in the 11th house of Aquarius, and for independence. So the way I read these oracle cards is by looking at first all of the different pieces. So, the moon as one piece, and then the sign of Aquarius as another piece, and then that it's in the 11th house as another piece, right? The thing that I like about oracle as opposed to tarot is you want to learn the basics of tarot, not like book memorize them. Some people do. I am a nerd, self-affirmed. Like, I read a whole bunch of books, I memorized what I needed to, and then my intuition took over. Oracle allows you to pick up. You don't need to memorize, right? This is a little deeper, where I have a book that goes with it that I can look at, but this is not something you need to commit to memory, or your intuition doesn't take a gut punch if you don't, memorize all of it.
All right.
And the artwork's fun.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out with me. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and this is my good friend Sir Brian Ellicott, and thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Tarot Thursday. And I will be back next week for Tarot Thursday, and we'll see who else wants to join me. Brian, you're always welcome, but I know you're staying up late.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I can make an exception once in a while.
All right. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And may you blessed be.
Blessed be, everyone. Good night.